cook a ham. This is something that I like to cook maybe once or twice a year, so I thought I would show you how I cook my hams in hopes that it would help you. So I can't wait to show you today on how to cook a ham. So to get started today, you're going to need a ham. Mine is pre-cooked a little bit, but we need to put it back in the oven and let it cook. Mine's 8 pounds, and for about every pound you need to let it cook for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to need to let mine cook for about 2.5 hours. And that's at 350 degrees, so you can go ahead and preheat your oven while you're prepping your ham. Mine has a bone in it and it is not pre-sliced. Usually the pre-sliced ones are already pre-cooked, so all you have to do is warm those up. This one is not. So, but I'm going to show you how I make my glaze for the outside of my ham that makes it even better and has more flavor. So let's get started on the glaze. And what I have is let's see here if I can open this without cutting myself. Alright, so I have a can here of pineapples, and they're the pineapple tidbits. You can get the circle, you know, the pineapple that are still in their circle. But I'm going to put in the juice in the bottom of my pan here, so that adds flavor for the ham. Make sure you squeeze out the juice. Alright, perfect. Now, and I got the tidbits, and this is an 8-ounce can, and I'm just going to put my tidbits in my food processor. I'm using my mini one today. We're just going to put it all in there. The smell of pineapple is so nice and fragrant. One, why I like to cook with ham and the pineapple flavor is one, from when I went to Hawaii, that brings me back to when I went to Hawaii. The aroma, the pork, and then you have the pineapple. It's really nice. So I have my pineapple in here. Next, what I'm going to add in is some brown sugar. I have about a cup of brown sugar. I may have done a little bit more. So we're just going to add this in. I know I'm making a mess. So we'll add this in. Okay, and I'm only going to do half in because I'm going to pulsate it, and then we'll add in the rest of it. And then what I'm going to do is I have 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And that's just to give it some extra flavor. So I'm going to bring it over here and start pulsing that on my food processor. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to add in the rest of the brown sugar. Perfect. So I have got my pineapple, brown sugar, and cinnamon mixture, and you can taste it, see if you like it. I mean, it's really sugary and sweet, but it is so fantastic. So I wanted to show you what the pineapple and brown sugar mixture will look like. It's just going to be kind of a soupy thick mixture, and remember, the pineapple is what's going to give that juice and the brown sugar, so don't worry. Once you get that pulsated, it's going to turn into that mixture. It's very easy. So next what I'm going to do is I have some foil here, and I'm going to put the ham out on the foil. And then next what I'm going to do is, with a knife, I'm just going to score some of the top part. So then that way some of this brown sugar will get in nice and deep. So if you can see here off to the side, I cut back some of the skin here, and it's the fatty part. And we want the fatty part to be cooked on top, but also I can stuff some of the glaze that we've made and put it in there so there's more flavor. Okay, perfect. So now what I'm going to do is all I'm going to do is take my glaze that I've made and start putting it through the slots that I've cut on my ham. And remember to have foil down when you do this. Or you can have it in the pan already. But I want this to be completely wrapped so the flavors all kind of stay in. The pineapple with this brown sugar, it just smells like a dream. Like, it takes me back to Hawaii, literally. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to wrap this up. But I'm going to leave the top part open because I'm going to dump in the rest of this over. So in this way, when it's covered in foil, this part will get some of the glaze on it also. So I've got more of my foil laid out here. I'm just going to pour some of this on the front. And wrap it up more. And then push it back up. Perfect. Let's put all this on top. Now we have our ham all nice and tightly packed. Transfer it over to my pan, which does have the pineapple juice in it. That's just for some, you know, flavor and to help keep it moist. But really, hams, to me, I've never had one that was dry. They, you know, the fat and everything, you know, they stay very moist usually. So, putting this in the oven, I have also here, I have a cookie pan, you know, or a baking sheet to put under, so that way if any juices bubble over or anything, you know, you're not cleaning your oven. But I'm going to put this in my oven at 350 degrees, and like I said, for 2.5 hours. I'm going to check on it. I have a meat thermometer, which is something you really should invest in when you're cooking with meat, and big amounts of meat too, just to make sure you don't want to be giving anybody food poisoning. So I'm going to put this in and we'll check on it very soon. As you guys can see, the internal temperature of our ham is 160, which is fantastic. That's what you want it to be, but 140 is also great, like I said. But 160 is going to be fabulous. So this is absolutely ready to come out, and we're going to carve it. Okay, you can see that I have plated up this ham. I just have it on a platter. I just went out and got some foliage outside to put around. I like to use what's outside. I think it makes it a little more fresh. Whatever. Anyways, this smells fabulous. Now, you see that there's some burnt parts that I mentioned, and that's just because the sugar in the brown sugar and the pineapple, you know, it kind of caramelized, and while it got hot on the top, you know, the middle part still has to cook. So, I mean, there's not really any way of controlling that, but this looks so good, and it's only a tiny bit that got burnt. So here, this is how I'm going to show you how to cut the ham. Is when you see the bone right here, we're going to slice just above the top of it. Perfect. And then you're just going to go in and slice long ways. And you're going to want to slice it for however thick you want it to be, but it's going to look fabulous inside, and the color is perfect. So anyways, you can slice this up. You don't have to use my glaze. You could use whatever other glaze. Just use this as kind of your tool to help you guide you through the ham cooking process. But I hope that you really try making a ham, especially if you haven't made one yourself. They're so nice for big family functions. It's really nice to have. So I hope you try my recipe for cooking a ham and my pineapple brown sugar glaze that goes with it. That is fabulous, and it makes the house smell so nice and warm. So check out my website at www.sausymouth.com, and until next time, keep it saucy.